Title, Technology Integration for Teaching and Learning in the Classroom, is our premier series. It comes in 3 phases. Phase 1 is 5 days of instructor-led training, or rather we'd really like to call it professional development, because we're going far beyond just training computer skills. Instead, we're teaching teachers methodology, pedagogy, best practices, the pieces that really make technology in the classroom meaningful and therefore raise students' academic achievement level. In Title Phase 1, those 5 days encompass the following courses. The first one is simply project-based learning and technology in the classroom. We start out with a great PowerPoint that shows 21st century schools and the use of technology, how we really do need to reinvent schools, how that we cannot continue to have the same old kind of medieval style teaching where the teacher is that sage and the students are that passive learner. Instead, we have digital learners there in the classroom, and we treat them as digital learners. And we show teachers how those digital learners differ from the way we were when we were in school as those passive learners. Also on that first day, we learn the components of project-based learning: inquiry learning, critical thinking, the essential question, the need for collaboration, the need for good communication in the writing process. So we introduce all those concepts, and then we actually show the teachers a specific rubric and a lesson plan template that can be used to create their own project-based learning plans.
It was the title program that really made a difference with the teachers because they had those training materials and they were excellent, an excellent support.
Probably the most important result really of our technology integration training was the fact that when we took it back to the classroom, it had such a huge impact on our students. The year that I was going through this process, I had a very challenging group, to say the least. I had a number of reluctant learners and struggling learners in my classroom. And once I started integrating the technology throughout the year, I really noticed a change in their learning and really their attitude towards school. And it was exciting to see. It's very contagious in the classroom. And one thing led to the next, and they were really willing to try new things because it was such a great tool for them in their studying and in their being able to produce written work and just in all different aspects for them. So that was a really important piece, that encouraged me to even learn more about technology and really develop more my own skills and really work more with integration. The other piece of it, we'll talk a lot about our struggling learners. Another important piece is we have all these children in our classroom that really need a challenge, and the fact that using the computer as a tool is it encourages them so much to use critical thinking skills because they can use it as a tool to create and to synthesize the research into all kinds of new projects and products, and that excites them and really helps them to learn a lot more and take on a lot more challenges than they have previously. So I saw a huge difference, and it just makes you want to keep learning more.
Teachers utilizing the technology was giving those students an extra skill or an extra tool, if you will, because the students were, some of them, especially in the rural setting, were not introduced to technology until they came to the public schools. And so we were not only teaching the objectives in language arts and science and social studies, those content areas, but we were also giving them another lifelong skill or lifelong tool. So it really gave the students more ability to be competitive in the workforce when they became working citizens, but it also gave the classroom a level of enthusiasm, and it really engaged students in learning in a different way. And that's, I think, where technology really takes over, really has its place in the classroom. It gives teachers a way to vitalize what they're teaching and engage students in learning in a meaningful way. We had teachers at varying levels during the professional development series, but what was different with Knowledge Network Solutions were we were able to use those skills of word processing and using a spreadsheet and using a PowerPoint presentation in the area of their content. So we asked teachers to bring their textbooks with them, to bring their syllabi with them, to bring their objectives and say, what are you going to be teaching this 9 weeks? Let's talk about where technology would make the best fit. Because it wasn't just learning the tool to learn the tool. It was learning the tool to integrate it into their content area. And that's when you really saw things. We felt like the administrator series was really important in our district, being a small rural district, because we had to make sure that all of our instructional leaders at the district office as well as at the building level really understood how technology was going to become a tool. It was not going to be an add-on, it was not going to be a class that students went to, but it really was going to be integrated so that when teachers were teaching content, it was just a natural flow to put in a PowerPoint as a part of a research or to integrate an Excel spreadsheet as a part of a scientific data collection. We wanted the administrative staff to really know what they were looking for, and so we went through a series of the administrative tools so that they would have rubrics or look-fors when they were evaluating classroom teachers, but also so that they could be instructional coaches and make suggestions when they saw that a lesson could have been more enriched with an activity that included technology.
Well, when we started having training, first of all, we had the teachers come into the classes with me so that they could see what I was doing with the children and they could see how, and I could model it for them. Then I started having instruction for the teachers after school. And then K&S came in and did a week's worth of training with all the teachers. And I think with all of that training, and K&S did an excellent job of not just teaching the classes, but teaching the classes and integrating the word processing, showing teachers how they could use math and how the children could do graphs. And so it was very different from any other training that we got with the school system because of the integration piece. And I think that helped the teachers feel much more comfortable. And by the end of the year, they felt like they could do it on their own. But that training was a key component, because without it, those computers would have just sat in the classroom with dust on them.